Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you're serious about investing in the digital asset space. Let's get right into it today. One take and uncut. So to kick things off, per the previous video, I know XRP underscore Stort was showing again EuroXM, their bank. Again, they are using on-demand liquidity, using XRP in live transactions today. Granted, they are just getting started. It's relatively low value, of course, which Ripple's mainly tackling in low volume. But when you ramp up that volume, we've already talked about the stepping stones for other groups. Now, not financial advice. Nothing I share in this video is financial advice. And I want you guys to think critically and do your own research. But I kind of want to go through a few important pieces as you guys are going about your day. So back in 2015, we know the World Commerce Review sat down with Graham Bright, this gentleman in this video, and he's talking about this $22 trillion cross-border payments market. Now, we understand that a disruptive solution like DLT is actually going to, of course, impact and help the big tier one banks, but it's also going to actually mess them up. And a lot of this disruption is not good for them because these tier one banks are making so much money from the existing friction of the payments in the current infrastructure today. But notice the vernacular of these worldwide governments kind of coming after them and saying, level playing field, financial inclusion, equality for all. You have to pay attention to these things because words do mean things. All right. Understand Ripple. Even Digital Asset Investor had a phenomenal video recently in an interview with Greg Kidd. He's directly related to the Federal Reserve. Within a month of them starting, they were already meeting with the Federal Reserve. I do not know many private companies that go about doing that right from the get-go. All right, so right here, I just want to show this quick clip again, directly talking about XRP. This is Graham Bright of EuroXM Bank. And again, this is XRP underscore Stort. Definite follow.
So far, and what do you think are some of the opportunities going into the next decade?
Okay, well, the first thing we're seeing is de-risking by some of the major players in the market. They're cutting down the number of correspondent relationships they have, which means that any external institutions, perhaps in Africa, are finding it very difficult to get bank accounts and to move their physical payments around the world. And here we're seeing an alternative.
And remember, with Africa, with Mojaloop, again, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation teaming up with Ripple, Hyperledger, all these groups for Interledger Protocol.
Payment market actually arising from here, more opportunity with that, lower cost of payments, and also using cryptocurrency instead of moving into fiat currency. So for ourselves, we're using Ripple in order to effect a payment transaction using a blockchain underlying enabling technology, but also using XRP cryptocurrency as the main one to handle on-demand liquidity.
All right, so you heard it there. No surprise. Obviously, it was so annoying in 2017, people that didn't know what they're talking about, saying XRP will never be used. And now it is actually one of the only digital currencies or crypto assets as the vernacular is changing. And you notice even the Financial Stability Board of the G20 is calling them crypto assets, not cryptocurrencies. They're not calling them, again, Christine Lagarde, now president of the European Central Bank, saying this is far from the Bitcoins or Bitcoin that we used to know. Okay. So next up, so again, this is actually shared by James Rule XRP. Thanks for sharing this off of FXC Intelligence. So just so you guys know, the industry standards for international payments data, again, financial data companies specializing in international payments, payment cards, e-commerce, again, with a focus on pricing data. So just to see this quick little infographic, we can see blockchain and cross-border payments, current state of major projects and products. So we've gone through Libra, their association, the currency, this payment system, not a threat to XRP. Again, all this is a fancy permission database of IOUs. Nothing revolutionary, just Facebook trying to get their slice of the pie and make a lot of money doing so. People act like, oh, I'll never adopt Libra. People would not give up their privacy. Please, I think we give up our privacy every single day. And if they offered you, a free $200 to join the network and it was free, Libra or, the currency to actually join the network on a marketplace, you would do it in a heartbeat. So things like that and credit would incentivize people as well. So it's possible. But again, this is just a permission database. This is not permissionless. This is not necessarily true DLT. Okay, now with Ripple and of course the XRP ledger, their baby, the secret sauce in tandem with IOP and other groups, we already know many groups again, and this is kind of related to Mr. B, XRP's recent video, Digital Asset Investor, all these guys. We know Microsoft runs at least one validator on the XRP ledger. We know relationships with Amazon Web Services. We know, obviously Microsoft Azure is Ripple, and RippleNet is now cloud-based as well. The redundancy, the rollout is going to be easier, efficient. We already know one API these applications are right in front of you. You can go about JPM coin. Remember, at the World Economic Forum in Davos, remember they actually referred to it as intra-bank settlement with the currency JPM coin. Not a threat, still a walled garden. Not every single bank that are competitors to JP Morgan are going to want to join that JP Morgan ecosystem. Maybe JP Morgan will have a few of the major banks and their subsidiaries, but again, it still relies on trust. And this is much more than just using XRP for cheaper, faster payments. It goes way, way beyond that. It's a very complex ecosystem, and you can't get through all of this in a 10-minute video. I personally recommend 2 to 3 years minimum to even start getting it. Right? So again, XRP live, we can see that. Facebook with their wallet, again, Novi, and then R3 Corda. We understand permission blockchain, or their permission DLT network that can, again, settle via XRP. XRP has been one of the only digital currencies to be announced. We already know the lawsuits. I do believe, and many people do not, I personally believe from my research that R3, per my probably last maybe 8 videos, will be using XRP and have a likelihood or a high probability in the future of teaming up with, thanks to the help of Accenture. Notice that Swift GPI is working with, R3 and DLT exclusively. So do not be surprised. It might sound far-fetched now if Corda and Swift GPI work something out. Swift GPI is nothing more than X current. It's messaging. Okay. We understand Spunta with the clearing, reconciliation. Awesome. I'm focused on settlement, the actual application and physical delivery of money, which in my opinion would be fastest done via XRP, provided the liquidity is built steadily. Okay. Next, and then Stellar again with XLM. All right, so thank you, James. All right, next up. Saw Matthew LINY share this and a few other people. So MoneyGram, again, Ripple's partner. They own at least 10% of MoneyGram themselves. We've heard all the talks about Western Union acquiring MoneyGram in the future. No surprise, okay? Western Union has trialed and has been working with Ripple for quite some time as well. Do not be surprised by that. I know Western Union says, oh, well, we tested XRP and we didn't see the savings we wanted. Guys, they did like 10 different little payments. Again, this is something that with application used at scale, it is exponential in terms of actual, realization of the savings. So MoneyGram partners with Al Rajhi Bank for cross-border payments to provide money transfer services in Saudi Arabia. This is the largest Islamic bank in the world. In my opinion, they are steadily going for global domination. I forgot where I saw it recently, but even in Brazil, Western Union brags about being, the number one money service business in the world, and their relatively low fees. We can't really, net and get any cheaper than we are now. That's a joke, because when you look at corridors in Brazil, it's still highly inefficient, and that's what Ripple is targeting. Funny enough, we already knew that recently. Ripple, again, like within a month, was talking with the Brazilian central bank. Now, this is no surprise. Of course, they've been in active discussions with them for quite some time. We know Ripple's met with the China central bank as well, even talking with People's Bank of China, PBOC. And it should be no surprise that the top 40-50 central banks, and what's happening is, as we know per Ripple Insights, they launched in Brazil back in June 2019, so last year, and now they are utilizing and ramping up on-demand liquidity. So a lot of the same names, again, we have Eric as well from Ripple. We talked about BTech in the past, and Ripple saving them, look, drop fees from $20 to $2. Now, if you guys think that's insignificant, I don't think you understand how important this is for the people that are sending remittance, money to and from their families on a daily basis. This is a use case, and they're starting with these corridors that are highly, what's the word I'm looking for? Highly, not inefficient, but highly clunky architecture. There's a lot of friction with the liquidity, okay? So another interesting thing I saw, let me find it. Yeah, right here. So Mickey B. Fresh sharing this. So this could be related to why Ripple's being courted by Brazil Central Bank. RippleNet is designed to pay out into mobile digital wallets. Now, I may have talked about this before, but again, back in February 2020, Central Bank of Brazil plans to launch QR-based instant payment system with PIX, P-I-X. You guys can see the demand again. Even President of the Central Bank of Brazil, which we've talked about in the previous video, I believe, stating that PIX comes from the need to have an instrument with cryptocurrency characteristics. Now we know, Brad and a few other people were directly speaking with him and some of his regulation or regulatory directors. Should be no surprise. And again, it is simply a matter of time. Okay. Next up. All right. Now, this is something that was just eerily creepy. So I know some people have already shared this, of course, but on the World Economic Forum, guys, we've already talked that they've changed the name, the Great Reset. This is unbelievable. I know some of you follow those conspiracies, and there are a lot of weird coincidences. And eventually you wonder how much is a psyop, how much could be legit. And it does make you wonder. But now the World Economic Forum is saying the Great Reset. They're calling it this. Many, many high level people are saying this. Shaking the system, quoted by Christine Lagarde. Level playing field, quoted by all of the top tiered people, really, even in, throughout the European Union as well. Even our system needs a reset. This video is crazy. I don't want to show it due to copyright purposes, but you guys can go and type in the Great Reset World Economic Forum. It's on their website as well. And what is creepy is, I know some of you guys follow the conspiracies and some of the Riddlers and air quotes. These soundtracks are the same soundtracks that were released in some of the Riddler videos a year to 2 years ago. Okay. I'm not going to name anyone specifically, but again, just makes you wonder. I thought that was kind of a fun thing. But nonetheless, guys, this is way beyond just DLT, way beyond, the financial markets and XRP, but it is my belief. And you don't have to believe me. You can ignore this video, never watch it again for these crazy theories. But I do believe that XRP will play a role in part of the new financial system in the near future. Okay. You have to understand, Bitcoin made 18,000 millionaires by accident. It was a complete joke. I think it has been an inside job created by the NSA since the very beginning. And that's just my personal belief. They had a very different model than how the internet was adopted. David Schwartz, CTO of Ripple, talks about this. The internet was a top-down approach. Started off with the universities and businesses, as I say. They started building applications and use cases on this, and eventually retail everyday people started using all of these applications, and it made all the businesses money. The universities, it created efficiency. We get the gist, and it was adopted globally. That is exactly what the XRP ledger is doing. Now, what else is interesting is Bitcoin had the exact opposite model, down to top approach. So they basically scattered it to a bunch of people, and they're hoping that somehow it gets used and adopted as the global currency by governments or payment systems. And to me, it's a nice thought and theory, but it's not going to happen. Okay. Maybe it will appreciate in value. Maybe you'll see those astronomical price points for Bitcoin. But for me, I want to actually hold and invest in assets that I think are solving real problems for real customers. And that's just my way. There might not be a single right way, to each their own. And I wish you well, but I'm going to be diversifying as well. But XRP will continue to be one of my biggest holdings. I don't care if it sits at 20 cents for, 5 years. If it goes to 3 or 4 digits, I'm not complaining. Okay. And again, the idea is to accumulate so much that you can set and forget and not worry about it. You don't have to watch these daily YouTube videos. You don't have to get frustrated at news or the price. If you're frustrated by any of that, you are over invested and don't belong in the space. My advice, friends, family, throw $20, $200, set it and forget it. Take care of your mental health and go about your day. Do something you enjoy. Now, another thing, I'll probably talk about it in another video, but again, with the CFTC chairman, we've shown the video clips too, like months ago, saying something could be called a security in its early days, but as crypto assets become more decentralized or distributed in their actual network, they actually can be ruled as a commodity. Remember, no in between, security or commodity. My bet is that XRP will not be ruled a security. Will there be more FUD campaigns, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and negative propaganda spreading that fear? Yeah, I guarantee it. And I don't think there's ever going to be regulatory clarity. I think the price will move before regulatory clarity. Let's just say that, not financial advice. And if you're going to be waiting for regulatory clarity where everyone knows where this asset's going, you're going to be too late. Investing is made from risk as well. Okay. So again, they explain that. That's just my belief. Some type of XRP should be ruled, in my opinion, as some type of commodity, some type of utility token, anything like that. We've gone through this, okay? Exchange token, utility token, commodity type of, classification, not a security. That is a complete and utter joke if you understand the caliber of people on the board of directors for this company, people that have massive stakes, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in the XRP ecosystem and want it to appreciate just as much as you want it to go to all-time high or $100. I don't think people fathom what is happening. It is not meant to be a $1 token forever or a 20 cent XRP forever. This is a massive, massive use case. People have ruled out the slow and steady approach, showing that price swings will happen and occur. The idea is Again, ramping up the volume, building the stair steps, just like we see payment systems and messaging, then going to settlements. You can see the same thing with domestic use cases, working international use cases. It's going to keep going. In the few of us that watch this channel, I appreciate the support as well. And I know there's a lot of people that are smarter out there than me. And I appreciate you guys commenting down below and those that send me helpful information, because I think we're just getting started. And I do believe that 2020 will be the year of the digital asset. All right. Now, lastly, you guys can go in every video I make, just go to the video description. iTrustCapital, they did just launch gold on the market. Again, if you've been recently laid off or you just want to start another Roth IRA, I personally recommend, not financial advice, to check iTrustCapital out. I have the links in the video description with a discount code as well, so take advantage of that. You guys can buy different digital assets, whether you just get, a little XRP in Ethereum, let it sit and forget. You can trade it. If it, you want to sell when it goes up and just sit on the side. If it retraces, you can improve your position. Guys, there's a 1% trading fee. Like, this is most cryptocurrency exchanges today are a 1% trading fee. You have complete autonomy and control of your digital assets. I love this, and I think this is the future. And iTrustCapital is being one of those visionary groups that are really trying to do this for their customers now, because I think we all know what is coming. Everything's being digital. It's, clear as day. All right, so you know what? I've been ranting a little too much. I'm going to get going on another video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.